You've been lied to. Hello, Fit Fam. It's Anna, and welcome to another episode of Lift Her Weight podcast. Today, we're not just talking about fitness, we are exposing the biggest confusion in the game. And trust me, your results will never be the same. Raise your hand if you've ever stepped on that scale after a week of crushing your workouts and eating clean and changing your habits, getting your water in, only to see that number barely budge. Or worse, go up. I know I have. And let me tell you, for a hot minute there, I was ready to throw my scale away and apply for a permanent residency of Gain City without ever looking back. I hated that scale and I hated myself. But then I started learning and I read more and more and I found out that the scale doesn't tell the full story. There was this one woman in my gym that really inspired me to do this episode. I was at the gym and they were doing a boot camp for women to try who want to lose and transform weight and body fat and transform their bodies. And there was this one wonderful woman who kept coming every day. And every time I was there, her class was at 10 a.m., but she would come at 9:30, and I remember seeing her every time. And she would sit kind of in front of the gym room where they would be training, ready half an hour early, and with her water bottle and just waiting to be cold. You know, I'm usually someone who usually runs right on time or is late, but she was there. This made an impression to me that she was there all the time, early. And she pushed hard. I remember the trainer would push her hard. He would run her through all these cycles of exercises, of deadlifts, leg presses, jumps. And she would just get in and do it. And I could see her, she would be so tired, but doing it anyway. And every time I saw her and every time she made eye contact with me, she would smile at me. And I would smile back. I just love we had this connection. I don't know what it was, but I felt motivated by her and I felt that she was feeling motivated by me. And of course, she was overweight, severely overweight, but she was there. And I think this is what really inspired me in her, because although I was never overweight to that point in my life, I always struggled with feeling comfortable in my body. And there's something she said to me. Anyway, one day, after one session like that, after I see her again at 9:30, waiting for her training session that would start at 10, after seeing her run through all these crazy exercises in the span of 45 minutes, I am at the treadmill and I'm walking. And she comes down the stairs and we lock eyes again. And she just says to me, "You inspire me so much. You look incredible." I'm going to cry now, but because it meant a lot to me. But I said to her, "You inspire me." And she said, "No, I have so much to go, so far to go." And I said, "No, you're on the right track. Keep going." And she says, "I don't know how to do it, but I'm here and I'm doing it." And I said, "Yes, keep going, you know." And then she went out and sat in front of this little space area in front of the desk, at the front desk in the gym, waiting for something. And she was waiting, and I thought to myself, wait a minute, maybe I can grab her and we can work out together. And so I went over to her. I stopped my walking on the treadmill. I went over to her and I looked actually for her phone. She was waiting for her lift ride, which immediately in my head I thought to myself, wow, the dedication. She doesn't even have a car, and she would Uber or take a Lyft to the gym to do her training sessions. It was inspiring because, a lot of people won't do that. If it's not convenient for them, they won't do it. And so I said to her, hey, listen, I'm not a trainer, but do you want to work out together? Maybe you can come and we can just go over a session together, and maybe it will be fun. And she almost cried, and she said, honestly, I'm just tired of being fat. I'm just tired of living in this body. And this is how I felt too. And she mirrored me. And even though I looked completely different from her, I know that feeling where you just don't want to live in that body. And so that is why fat loss and weight loss and understanding all these nuances are important, so you can live happy in your own body. And that brings us today to the burning question, the one you need to know. Is there actually a difference between fat loss and weight loss? I know I always kind of never separated them, and I thought that fat loss and weight loss are kind of the same thing. I thought of them as one entity, and I found out that they're very, very different. So picture this: you scrolling through TikTok on your doom scroll. Usually I do that at night before bed. It's not very healthy too for falling asleep, but we can talk about sleep habits in later episodes. And you see someone promoting the next big diet, trending diet. Big ones now in the summer are juice cleanses, and promising you that you will lose weight. You would lose those 10 pounds in the next week. And you get excited. This is something you haven't experienced, you haven't done before. And maybe this time it will work. And I've been there. I've tried anything and everything under the sun. And you jump on that diet, you jump on a juice cleanse. We'll talk about juice cleanses today because I think they're very trending, especially now over the summer. People think that juice cleanses are good because you're drinking more and it's a hot weather, and actually you're also losing weight because you're detoxifying your body. And you think that this juice cleanse will be the one that will kickstart your weight loss and will kickstart your fat loss. But again, we will go back and back, and I hope that today you will be able to learn what I learned the hard way, that fat loss and weight loss are two completely different things. And when you're trying to lose fat, you should not be really looking at the scale. Here's my personal experience with fat loss and weight loss. I struggled for years, especially postpartum. I felt that my body was just not mine. So I went to different trainers. I tried different diets. I tried keto. I tried fasting, intermittent fasting. And I always measured myself with the scale. And I threw away even so many clothes, and I love clothes. And I was just desperate. It's not easy, and I understand that. I understand that when it is a journey, fat loss and regaining strength and rebuilding your body after a traumatic event or like birth or injury or surgery, or even after living for a long time, just being fat, it is a journey. But I didn't give up. And so I searched for solutions constantly. I turned to people. I read the internet. I read books. I listened to podcasts and films. I invested thousands of dollars into dietitians, into trainers, into coaches. And bodybuilding really was the reason why I started losing that fat and rebuilding my body. But at the base of bodybuilding, I'm not saying that everyone should do bodybuilding to achieve their body goals, but at the base of bodybuilding is exactly this body recomposition. That brings us today to the burning question. There's actually a difference between fat loss and weight loss. And why, my friends, should we even care? Picture this. You're scrolling through TikTok on your evening scroll before bed, and suddenly you see someone doing a 24-hour juice cleanse. And they promise to help you lose those 10 pounds overnight or within a week, and you get excited. This is something you haven't tried, and this is trending. But my question is, are they actually losing fat? Any initial weight loss from a 24-hour juice cleanse is primarily due to a reduction in water and depletion of carbohydrate stores. This gives the illusion of rapid weight loss. And yes, the scale does go down. But here's what happens. Your body stores carbs with water. And when you cut the carbs, that water is released. But as soon as you resume eating normally, that water weight is quickly regained. So yes, you're losing weight, but you're not losing fat. More problems come with these diets. They also lead to loss of essential nutrients. These cleanses are severely lacking in protein, healthy fats, and especially fiber. Juicing strips away that vital fiber, leading to blood sugar spikes and potential deficiencies over time, even in just a day. There is no true detox. These detox juice cleanses are not detoxing you. Your liver and kidneys already handle detoxification, efficiently. There's zero scientific evidence that juice cleanses enhance this natural process. In fact, they come with a lot of negative side effects. The high sugar in juices without the fiber can actually cause blood sugar crash, which will lead to dizziness, fatigue, headaches, and irritability. And you don't want to be irritable, especially when you're trying to lose weight. That's the reality. The juice cleanses are also unhealthy and unsustainable. These diets are extremely restrictive. They can promote an unhealthy relationship with food and often lead to a rebound weight or even more weight gain. So what's the actual difference? Let's break it down into 3 key points. First, weight loss, it's a broad term. Fat loss is specific. Weight loss means that you're decreasing in your total body weight. This can include water, muscle, bone, or even fat. It is just a number on the scale. That's why the scale really doesn't matter. Fat loss specifically means a decrease in your body's fat mass. This is the healthy desired outcome. You can lose weight without losing much fat or even gain weight while you're losing fat. And I'll tell you about it a little bit later. But the second point is that it's all about how this experience impacts your body. It's about body composition and appearance. Just weight loss doesn't guarantee a better look or health. If you lose muscle and water, you can end up skinny fat, which is a low number on the scale, but you still have a high body fat percentage, and this is still not healthy, and maybe you're still not happy. Fat loss gives you a leaner, more toned appearance. Your clothes are fitting better. You look more defined. And your body composition actually improves. The third thing is that it affects your metabolic health and sustainability. Quick weight loss from extreme diets often means losing muscle, which slows your metabolism. This leads to the frustrating yo-yo effect where you're losing and gaining constantly. Fat loss strategies combined with resistance training and protein protect your muscle. This keeps your metabolism high, making fat loss sustainable and leading to a better long-term health. That's why we're trying to get into that shape and into that constant state of improving our health, and fat loss is part of it. So let's talk about that mighty scale again. I have it, I love it, and I hate it. And we often hear about people trying to lose weight, right? But what about those awesome scenarios where someone might actually be gaining weight, yet their body composition is improving? Think about it. Someone new to lifting, they're hitting the gym, they're building strength, and they see that their scale goes up. But instead of panicking, you need to realize that in that moment, they're looking and feeling leaner, clothes are feeling better. So what is actually happening here? Remember that weight is just a number. The scale only tells you total mass, not what it's made of, whether it's made of muscle, fat, water, bone, or you decided to get that trendy belt on, which adds weight. Body composition is key. This is the ratio of fat mass to lean mass. Improving body composition means less fat and more muscle. And here's the kicker. Muscle is denser than fat, and a pound of muscle takes up less space than a pound of fat, even though they weigh the same. Think of it like a pound of rocks versus a pound of feathers. This allows of changes that are happening at the same time. You can be losing fat while gaining muscle at the same time. This is called body recomposition. So the scale is deceiving, especially as women. When hormones are up and down, the scale will be up and down. It may go up or stay the same, but your body looks and feels leaner when you're body recomping because you're adding dense muscle and losing bulky fat. So for the true indicators, look for clothes fitting better, increased strength, and improved energy levels. They're far more accurate than the scale alone. So what are the benefits of focusing on body composition? Let's summarize them. First, a higher metabolism. Muscle burns more calories at the rest than fat does, helping with long-term weight management. You're literally burning fat while you're resting. Second, strength and function. More muscle means better functional strength, mobility, and overall physical ability. You can move better and basically lift and do things better, anything really. And third, better health. A lower body fat percentage, even if your weight is higher due to the muscle, is linked to reduced risks of chronic diseases. There is nothing better than having more muscle in your body and to strive to have that. So incorporating strength training into your routine helps you achieve true fat loss, even if the scale isn't always your bestie. It's not. You want to lose fat. Focus on bulking that lean metabolic muscle and truly transforming your physique from the inside out. Muscle is metabolically active. We said that. It will burn more calories even at rest. You can eat more, So while that scale might play mind games with you, your mirror and your strength gains won't lie. Shakira should make a song about it. How do you track this real progress? There are several ways to do that. Measurements is one way. Use a tape measure for your waist, hips, and other areas to see changes in the shape. I remeasure myself once a month. Progress photos are essential. Visual comparisons over time are incredibly motivating. You can do befores and afters. Check how your clothes fit. Your clothes will fit different and looser. And strength gains. Are you lifting more or performing better? Are you feeling better in your body? That's the direct link that you're having more muscle. And energy and mood. Do you feel that you're feeling better, that your mood is better, that you just tackle the day with more motivation and optimism? And you will also actually start performing better under stress, because think about it, when you're putting your body to build muscle, you're putting your body under stress to break down that muscle that will then heal and grow bigger. And so you're teaching your body how to function well and recover from stress. And not only in the gym, but also in life. You're just a better person overall. So there it is. The truth: don't trust fad diets and the scale number. Trust your body. If this was helpful to you, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss another game-changing episode. I have a lot coming. And in the comments below, share with me what's one fitness lie you are finally ditching. I would love to hear from you. And stay strong, stay focused, unlock your potential, and I will see you at the top.